welcome to the show. I got to tell you guys, it has been one heck of a busy week. I am running all over the country. We have so many projects we're working on right now. I got to tell you guys, I'm energized. We're fighting. We're trying to save America. We are doing a lot of stuff. Some of it I can't talk about yet. Some of it I've already talked about. Some of it you'll see coming up. But we are really, really taking a lot of steps because, folks, I got to tell you, you may feel like we're winning. You may feel like we're free, but we are not winning right now. We're not winning. Unless winning means, we're moving headlong into the Great Reset and about to lose your privacy, about to have your digital ID, about to lose your currency, about to lose everything. If that's winning, then we're doing fine. But I don't think that's winning. I don't think vax passports and child kidnappings under the guise of medical negligence qualifies as winning. And that's what's happening in this country right now. And it's getting worse. So there's a lot happening. I actually, I flew back into the state last night. I had a speech this morning I had to give, and am back here to be with you guys right now. And yeah, just eager to tear it up. I'm eager to tear it up today. So let's get right into it. Of course, before I do, I've got to do. Got to do what I do. I got to do a little bit of grifting here. So please, we got to have your support. Please givesendgo.com/Renslaw. Givesendgo.com/Renslaw. I got to tell you guys, I am running right now, and I got to have your support. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff we're doing, there's just no money for it. Like I'm helping with some medical kidnapping stuff. I'm helping with some advocacy. I just got back in my inbox this week. We've got 2 bills that we're going to be launching to try and get passed into law. That I wrote. We've got cases running all over the place. There's just so much happening, and we're fighting so hard. But it's you that helps us do this, right? GiveSendGo.com/Renslaw. If you believe in what we're doing, please support us. We do need your help, and it really makes all the difference. It really does. So please support us, help us. Have our backs, GiveSendGo.com/Renslaw, and also TomRenz.com. Everything is at TomRenz.com. You can check out the podcast right there. You can check out Shop. Make sure you're checking out our partners and affiliates. And today, you don't have to scroll far. Today, we're highlighting men's hormone support from Global Healing. Listen, I love this stuff. Let's check out Block Trust IRA to do. But men's hormone support, I've got it right here. I use it. I literally use this every day. Once you hit 40, your testosterone levels are crashing if you're a man. It's just the way it works. And you need to help counter that, right? If you want to have that energy, that kind of the piss and vinegar you have as a young man, you got to do something to help with that. And it's not just 40, right? It's not just hitting 40. It's also the fact that we have so many poisons that are designed to destroy testosterone levels everywhere in our environment. Your water, when you drink out of water, most of the municipal water supply, they don't filter out the estrogen raising birth control pills that get flushed down the toilet or that come out of the woman when they pee. They clean your water. There's no pee in your water, but the estrogen causing chemicals are largely still there. Atrazine, all sorts of things. These things are in our water supply. Folks, there's a war against testosterone. If you're a man, you've got to fight to keep your body healthy and to keep it clean and to keep your testosterone levels up. Men's hormone support from Global Healing. This is the product you want to use. You go to TomRenz.com, use Renz at checkout. You get your discounts, do what you can. But right here, you can see it. You can find it all over the place. This is the product you want to get. Men's hormone support from Global Healing. All right, let's get right into things today. I have a lot to go on. I want to start out, and I want to start out with this. I want to start out with something totally random. The random new experiment, right? This is actually being talked about. A new quantum experiment has shown that time doesn't necessarily move forward and backwards like a timeline. It actually it folds on itself in some weird and mysterious way. So apparently future events can affect past events, and past events can affect future events, and things move all over the place. And it's more of a circular mess than what we ever thought. Guys, I don't know if you guys follow this quantum mechanics stuff. I do. It's kind of an interesting thing to me. You know, it's really, when you look at this, it's like you look at the universe and it's really bizarre. It's very complicated and nothing really makes sense. When we start getting into some of this advanced physics stuff, to me, it's evidence of God. I don't know what else it could be. You start looking. What do you mean? You know, these scientists. Literally, I'm reading from Twitter. I'm reading from the Post, and there's a bunch of posts on it. Instead of flowing forward like a river, time seemed to loop and fold back on itself. Particles behaved as if their future could affect their past, blurring the line between cause and effect in ways that defy ordinary understanding. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't understand the math behind it. I haven't looked at it. But what I do know is that the world, the universe, everything around us seems very, very bizarre. It seems designed intentionally. It seems very, just kind of crazy. I don't know. It's just evidence of God to me. I thought it was an interesting thing. The future can affect the past. Isn't that kind of crazy? So I guess whatever's going to happen in my future is affecting what I'm doing right now. For anybody that believes in, the idea that there's, kind of a destiny or anything like that, I guess it's evidence. I don't know. A little over my head. Another interesting thing I want to bring up, and I'd like to show this clip. Ben, can we put this clip up on the screen? This is actually an interesting thing. Look at this. Look at this robot. This is a robot from China. Look at this guy. It can dance, it can move. Looks like it's got pretty good balance. I'm guessing it does more than just dancing around, but it does do the dancing pretty good. You can see, look at how every joint moves. Look at how it does whatever it's doing. Look at that. Look at the balance. Okay, so why am I showing you a crazy dancing Chinese robot? Well, folks, we keep getting told that the AI is going to usher in future and it's going to be a good thing and that there's not going to be any issues and that it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful utopian future. And when we start talking about jobs, people say, well, just get a trade job. You just saw that robot dance. Do you really think that they can't have a robot? If a robot can dance like that, do you think that they can't build a robot that can, thread a pipe? That can, measure and make cuts using a circular saw? The trades aren't going to be safe. They're not a safe spot. We really need to recognize jobs are going away. Pretty much all jobs. There's not going to be a job that a human does that a robot can't replace you in. The only thing that a robot can't replace is the arts or human-to-human jobs. And even the human-to-human jobs are going to be good because AI is being trained to pretend it's a human. So there's not going to be a whole lot left that humans need to do. I want to propose this. I want to put this out there. We really need to start having Protect Human Jobs Acts passed. The Protect Human Jobs Act is not a real bill. It's something that I'm suggesting. It's something I would like to write. It's something I'd like to propose. And what it needs to do is there needs to be a bill, there needs to be legislation that protects human jobs from AI and robotic takeover. That's something that's coming. It's going to facilitate universal basic income. Because there's not going to be any jobs. You want a job, it just doesn't exist. So they're going to have universal basic income instead. Why did I bring that up? So why did I lead with that story? Well, I did an interview with Maria Z and Vigilant Fox and that whole crew, and I think that just came out. And digital ID is here, right? Digital ID is now here in the U.S. It's here. It's problematic. It's profound, and we need to understand it. It's the law. And honestly, I would love to tell you otherwise, but Trump's ushering it in. I mean, he just is. When he decided to implement the Real ID, now I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think he's got bad, crooked advisors who are pushing this, and he's listening to them as usual. But and listen, I know y'all. I got a lot of people in my message thread saying, "How? Why? No, Trump knows. How can you make excuses for Trump?" Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't care. Regardless of whether he knows it or not, he is pushing something that really is akin to digital ID. It is digital ID. The Digital ID Act, and we talked about this last week, and I'm still talking about it. I mean, the Real ID Act, not the Digital ID Act. Real ID Act, essentially, as updated through the Real ID Modernization Act, requires biometric data collection. It requires digital photographs, things like that. That is going to be tied through implementing regulation to something called an MDL, mobile driver's license, which is going to be tied to your phone or your Bill Gates tattoo or whatever it is that you've got. But you are going to have a digital identity. It is going to be tied to you, and it is going to be universal. This is very problematic on a lot of fronts because that digital ID now, because you also have electronic medical records and everything else, is also going to tie your medical and health freedom to you. You and your digital ID and your medical ID are going to be one and the same. So your vaccine records, your vaccine passport, all these things, this is opening the door for that, folks. You know, there was no Vax passport before, and you could forge those fake little cards. A lot of people forge those fake little Vax cards to get out of having to take the jab. Not in the future. Not in the future. It's going to be digital. It's going to be tied to you, and it's going to be tracked and traced. That is absolutely coming. It's going to be shared because, you know, what we have is we have a situation where the Real ID Act is implemented through 6 CFR Part 37, right? And so this is and it requires, that's where you get the MDLs put in. But it's shared, right? It's shared. It's required under the law to be shared between states. The sharing is done through a private entity. That's a public-private partnership. That private entity is untrackable. So where they're sharing what they're doing, there's a lot of questions, and there's not really anything we can find out about it. But what's going to happen is that sharing, that digital ID, is going to be tied to your medical records, and it's going to be shared universally. It's going to be something that's a huge, huge problem. It's going to be, kind of this thing where no matter what you do, your records, your vaccination status, your medical status, all the things it's all going to be part of this digital ID, and all this information is going to end up all over the place, sold to the highest bidder. Why is this a problem? Well, one of the things I've been talking about, there's a lot of reasons it's a problem, by the way, social credit score, because guess where else it's going to be tied to? Well, your digital wallet, right? Because we got crypto coming in this country. Well, what do you think that crypto is going to look like? How are you going to spend that crypto? What's it going to have? Well, it's all going to be done through digital wallet. You're going to have, the crypto marketplaces. And guess what that's subject to? Anti-money laundering laws. Guess how they combat money laundering? Well, your Real ID will be required for you to spend or to take any money, right? Everything is tracked and everything is traced. Now, when that's all set up to prevent money laundering, as they're going to tell us, do you think that you get the next Joe Biden in there or something like that? You think that they're not going to use that to coerce you into doing certain things? You think that they're not going to use that data to, and that power to shut down your ability to spend or to receive money? You think that the government, do you think Joe Biden would have hesitated to do that to, moms and dads who spoke out at school board meetings, because he said they were domestic terrorists, you remember? No, that's not going to happen. So you're going to have crypto issues, all your money, it's going to be locked up. It's going to be tied up. You will have a social credit score, folks. It's going to happen. It's not going to be through the federal government. It's going to be through some private entity, but they're going to do it. And it's going to be very problematic. So you have this crypto, this digital ID that's going to be running using your Real ID digital identity. And then on the other side, you're going to have the medical stuff. Now, the medical is pretty straightforward. I mean, you can see we already had the push. You just had COVID. You can see them trying to force you to get vaccines, trying to force this, trying to force that. But it's all just going to follow you around. What's worse is what it's going to do to your kids. Do you know that there are existing cases? There's existing law in the books. There's existing instances where kids have been, medically kidnapped and forced vaccinated. I'm dealing with a case right now where that's happened. The state takes your kid and they force vaccinate them. This isn't just a problem; it's a disaster. Parental rights are dead, and things like force. And it's going to be very easy to know. Hey, we're going to take your kid because you're not vaccinating him. Vaccinating him is a medical necessity, and so now to protect your kid, we're going to force vaccinate him. We're taking your kid. You don't have any say on it. This is a legitimate scenario. It's a real thing that has happened. We have a number of instances of this happening around the country. The digital ID is a phenomenally bad idea. And when we start looking at the way it's rolling out and where it's going, it's even worse. This is a terrifying situation, folks. And we need to understand that it's not theoretically happening. It's happening for real. What do we do about it is the real question. And the answer is right now, I don't have a good answer other than to yell and scream and make noise with Donald Trump and to let him know, hey, this is unacceptable. Because that's honestly, that's the truth of the matter. This is a truly unacceptable thing. So anyways, we're up a creek, folks. Our politicians are lying to us. Everybody's lying to us. The Great Reset is ushering in full speed. Things are moving very, very quickly. And, where does that leave us? It leaves us in a situation where we, the people, now not only do we need to be fighting back, but we need to know that if we do fight back too badly, we've got the law so messed up in this country that they can come after your kids. They can say you're being medically negligent and take your kids. This is disastrous, folks. It's disastrous. And it's for real. So stay tuned. We're going to figure out what to do with this, and we're going to keep fighting it. Like I said, I've got some legislation we're working on to try and address some of this, and we need to really kind of, pray and get ready to fight for that. But as of this moment, it's not ready, so update soon. All right. Producer Ben, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good.
Uh-oh.
Except for the topic
muted,
you're
Ben.
talking
We
about.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
How about now? You could probably hear me
There
now.
you go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's interesting because I think it's all happening so fast that nobody knows how to contain it. If all this happened over 50, 100 years, you might be able to work it out, but it's happening at lightning speed.
It is. Well, and I think that's by design, and it's happening under the radar, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you and I talked a little bit about this, I don't know, sometime this week or last week. But, I put out that post on Twitter, that big thread, kind of laying out the law related to digital ID. And, you got the Real ID Act. Well, it doesn't create a federal database. It creates a state database, but the state database is required to be shared with other state databases.
Right.
All the states have to share it. So, it may not be, they may not call it a federal ID database, but it's still a federal database because the feds are allowed to access it, and it's everybody.
It sucks because the technology is so cool, and there's so many good uses for it, and it's awesome. But then, I think I heard Elon say the other day, he was like, oh, this is great because you won't have to work or do things. But I think your work is what kind of brings you value.
Yeah.
I feel good after working a good day. If you just don't work anymore, what do you do? Sit around all day and collect dust?
Well, according to Yuval Noah Harari, you play video games and smoke pot.
Right.
That's basically what he told us. He said that we have to, that we, the useless eaters, are just going to have to smoke pot and play video games.
Right. It's probably tough to do that 18 hours a day.
I haven't tried. I got a couple guys I know that did. I don't think they turned out real well. I lost touch with them over the years.
Yeah.
Uh, but but that's kind of where we're at on things, and I mean, I think it's being done so under the radar. I don't think most people even know it's happening. Uh, I mean, I was talking today. I had a speech this morning. I was talking today. I actually asked. I said by show of hands, how many of y'all knew that you have a digital ID in the U.S. And none of them. I mean,
Right.
like really none of them. It's like it's like they're selling the data, doing all this stuff. Nobody even knows it's happening. And Ben, you watch the show all the time, and obviously you're here every day, and you're paying attention. You're acutely aware of what's going on. I mean, outside of myself, you just don't see too many people talking about it, do you?
No, most of the people that I talk to, besides a few friends, they don't know about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
They know about like the Ohio State game and, typical things that in America, that's what you did do 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You just worried about your life and what you did. And, and like when you talk about it in the speed, like when COVID was going on, if you told somebody like, oh, if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to lose your job, you're going to have all sorts of problems, they'd be like, that's crazy. And then
Yeah.
4 days later, you're like, here it is.
Yeah. There was a
Quick.
ton of that stuff, and everybody thinks it's not going to happen to them.
I
And,
thought about that
mentioned the
today
medical.
with the homeless. I had a homeless guy. I was down in Cleveland today, and he was like, hey, man, you got $1 or something? And I'm like, man, when you get to the digital money, like, how are those guys going to get money?
Well, that's it. I mean, they're going to end up having to get some sort of an EBT card or something like that because there's not going to be any more cash.
Right.
But and then they'll be tracked and traced like everybody else. But I mean, this whole thing is really insidious, and I just can't believe that people aren't fighting back yet. I just don't think that they know, which is really a debacle. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like collectively as a nation, we're dropping the ball. Where everybody wants to just believe that Trump's going to save the world, and he's not. He's got crooked
Yeah,
advisors. He's doing a great job on some things and a terrible job on others.
I think he's
And,
slowing things down a bit.
in what way?
As far as like, if Kamala would have won, a lot of this other stuff would have happened like real fast. But they're just
He's
like, all right,
definitely
let
better
him
than Kamala.
run, let him do his thing for 4 years, and then we'll come back in there after and speed it back up. But like you're saying, like he's all about the AI and everything.
Yeah.
He
I,
had
th-
those guys at the White House.
I don't think there's any question. He was, obviously worlds better than Kamala. But the one thing that I really, really kind of have an issue with or concern with is the fact that because he's there and because so many people, I mean, I like Trump, right? And I want him to take care of things, but so many people feel that way that a lot of people are just kind of letting things go and they're not really following up. They're not pushing. They're not saying, "Hey, Trump, where are you?"
They get complacent.
Really, very complacent, and it's not a good. It's just not a good trait. We need everybody fighting right now. We don't need anybody like sleeping on this.
Right. I guess the question to ask would be, what does fighting look like? Like, how would you
Well,
describe like fighting? We know you're not
violent.
talking fist fight. We're talking like, what is the fight?
Oh. No, fighting is getting people to become aware of what's happening, and then asking them to speak out on it, and try and find ways to make sure that these laws get overturned, that these laws get changed, that these regulations get shut down. We don't want the Real ID Act. It's an awful, awful idea. I mean, if this was actually going to get rid of the illegals, the Democrats would never support it. The only people who are going to follow Real ID in the long run are people like you and I, who probably could use a little bit of a of a break. I mean, as opposed to the welfare people that take 10 families' wealth through welfare, in one house.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty scary.
it is. It is. Well, let's keep moving here. So Ann Vandersteel, who is a good friend, I like Ann. Ann posted this, and I've noticed this because I've had a lot of travel lately. Ann says, since the government shut down, the poisoning of our skies has nearly stopped. That should tell you something. It's not the Republic doing this evil; it's the agency government. It's unconstitutional shadow state ignoring the Constitution, ignoring the people, and fueling its dark ops with Fed Reserve monopoly money. I don't know about that. What I do know is that I don't see as many chemtrails with everything shut down. How's it looking over in Cleveland?
It's been cloudy, so it's hard to say, but I never even thought about it. I'd have to keep an eye out over the next few days. See what I notice.
I was just out west, and it was quite a bit clearer.
Was it?
Yeah, there's nowhere near the number of smoke screens in the sky as what there typically are. So
I was looking
I
at
felt
the
like
chat
it was.
to see if anybody had any comments on that from
Yeah.
their area where they live.
Yeah, if anybody speak up in the chat. I'd be curious to know how many of y'all are seeing. Are you guys seeing the same sort of thing? Right? I mean, it's like where I've been, and I've been in a bunch of different states. It's looked very much like it was, a pretty substantial improvement. But I'm only in so many spots at once. Very much like it was. And yeah.
Yeah, it's been too cloudy here, but I haven't looked either.
Well, I also don't have a baseline when I'm traveling. I guess, when I'm here, I've got a pretty good idea of what it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm running around the country.
I pretty much live on top of the airport. So.
Yeah, that's true.
The airport's 3-4 miles from my house.
Yeah,
but I don't think they take off from there, do they?
Well, I mean, we don't really know. We don't know where all they're coming from.
Unless they rig up like a frontier plane. That's actually the one. Yeah. Spilling the chemicals.
They do seem to be willing to do that sort of thing. But all right, so Ann's talking about the poison coming from our groundwater and everything else. Now, we interviewed Sean Baker a while back, Dr. Sean Baker. He is the carnivore guy. And Sean's in good shape for an old dude, and he works out, and he's just killing it, right? Sean posted this, and I thought it was really, really interesting. And I'd love any reaction you got on it, Ben. So he's doing his continuing medical education, CMEs, right? Mm-hmm. And there's some really messed up stuff in there. Like, first of all, don't bother with lifestyle for weight loss. Just drug everybody. And 2, make sure your patients get a medication under use for headaches. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Seems like
is he ripping on what's going on? Is that what he's doing?
Well, he's pointing out that this continuing medical legal. I'm sorry about this. I want to bring this up here. Let me show you this. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, I'll make that bigger.
I'm having a technical issue here. So this is from his CMEs. It's important to acknowledge that improvements in diet and exercise are beneficial at any weight. However, it's equally crucial to recognize that sustaining significant intentional behavioral changes for health requires an extraordinary degree of privilege, far beyond what most people can realistically access or maintain. This reality is underscored by decades of disappointing long-term data or lifestyle interventions for obesity. This is what they're trying to teach doctors. Don't bother to try and help someone lose weight by, eating right or anything else. You just need a drug because it requires privilege to eat right and go to the gym.
What? It's fraud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we have food stamps. And I'm just not following, because if you've got food stamps, why can't you buy healthy food? How does it require privilege to buy healthy food instead of unhealthy food?
Yeah, I mean,
And
when are they going to realize, these people or whoever they're trying to trick? It's like, life's hard. Like, it takes work. Like, you don't,
yeah,
nothing just sit back and relax all day. It's like, it takes a lot of work. I know you yourself, it's like you're sleeping 2-3 hours a night,
well,
working,
on a good
working
night,
nonstop.
on a good
No, I'm
night.
pretty similar myself. I sleep a little more, but from the time I get up to almost go to bed, it's a war zone. It's
Oh, I
nonstop.
know. I know. I know. We're working our tails off, but we have privilege, I guess. It's privilege
Right.
to work that much. By the way, Blasted Genetics said that he's seeing fewer chemtrails too since this got started. And then in the comments there, we got Ariana Sater says, ask the question, does anyone here want freedom? Yes. Yes, I would love to have that. We're a long ways from it, though. But so, yeah, this thing, Sean goes on to say that part of his continuing medical education is this question: make sure your patients do not get do get a medication underuse headache. And here's the quote. It says, the concept of medication underuse headache is so new that there are no accepted treatments or algorithms available yet, said John Rappaport, MD. He is a clinical professor of neurology at UCLA and a past president of the International Headache Society. Basically, he wants underuse headache if you're not on enough medication. Ben, when I was growing up, I spent most of my time on no medication. I did get headaches now and then, but not very often.
Yeah, I
Do you
don't.
know, has there ever been a time in your life that you remember where you felt like you weren't taking enough drugs to prevent headaches?
No, I don't. Like you said, when I was a kid, I don't remember. I took Robitussin once a year.
Yeah. No.
Like, there was no pill taken.
No.
Now you get
No.
pills because you have a personality, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So the theme of the show was good and evil. And you know, we've talked about the this kind of digital ID where this stuff is going. We've kind of moved into some of these other forms of corruption that we're seeing. You know, the chemtrails, that sort of stuff. And now when I ask the question, when do you trust liars? What are we fighting? You know, is this stuff evil? Where are we going with this? You know, how bad are these guys? I want to keep asking that question. Now, before I do, let me go to this. We've got another tweet. Riley Gaines discusses, and I'm just reading this. This is a quote from End Tribalism in Politics. Quote, Riley Gaines discusses what she and her husband decided to do when it came to vaccinating their newborn. Quote, in terms of vaccinations, we did nothing. It's not it's not to say that maybe we won't later down the road use some vaccinations, but she says, reading about what's in these vaccines, I was shocked to learn that these vaccines are oftentimes filled with mercury and aluminum. During pregnancy, they tell you don't eat fish because they're high in mercury, but you're going to give babies vaccines that have super high levels of mercury. So I start, I'm looking at this. It's like, Riley Gaines is asking real questions, right? Real questions that make sense. Which, by the way, Ben, can you tell me why mercury is generally considered a terribly poisonous substance? And does it seem like a good idea to use that as part of
I mean, is it considered a metal?
What, aluminum?
Or
Mercury?
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 gas smell?
I don't know. It's kind of its own special category. Have you ever? I actually had a little thing of mercury that I had years and years ago, and it's really interesting because you're not supposed to play with it, but it's like somewhere between a liquid and a metal.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's considered a metal or not. It's a very interesting substance. I don't know of any other substance like it.
I do know that because I like to have like sushi and Chilean sea bass, and you know, and people talk about like watching seafood because of mercury in it.
Yeah.
But then it's odd that you'd have a baby and they're like, "We're just gonna shove you with all this mercury." You're like, what? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, and you just keep jabbing them. I know that they're talking about, pulling some of that stuff, but then you get all the stuff with aluminum. And Riley went on to say, during pregnancy, they tell you not to eat fish because they're high in mercury, but we're going to give babies vaccines with super high levels of mercury. And then she goes on to say, and then there's this huge shift in society to use deodorant that doesn't have aluminum in it, but we're going to give babies vaccines with 300 times the FDA's recommended amount of aluminum.
What? Maybe, I don't know if you know, but what, you get a vaccine for something. Why do you have to have mercury and aluminum in it?
Well, they claim that it's part of the adjuvants. It's part of what you need to get it into your system properly. And
I'm not saying there isn't a reason. I just don't know what it is,
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a very good reason. I'm kind of the belief that your body will uptake anything that it's good to have in there, and if it's not uptaking it, you probably, lying to your body about what it is and then poisoning yourself seems like a bad idea to me.
Yeah, it seems like they just want to experiment.
Yeah, and I can't say that would be beneath them.
Like Noel Harari,
Yeah, he's particularly special. Let me move on to this last story before I get to a clip from Tulsi Gabbard. This is headline: Dallas pediatrician Dr. May Lau Saunders license after Paxton's General Care lawsuit. So this May Lau Saunders is getting in a little bit of trouble because she was doing puberty blockers and sex hormones to minors in Texas, and that is not allowed.
Shouldn't be.
Well, no, it shouldn't, but she was doing it, and for an extended period. Now, I want to know how many babies were impacted. I mean, apparently she's let's see, what is this? She's good with she's a big LGBTQ activist, and she was pushing that agenda on minors, so she's getting in big trouble for that.
Seems like they're just experimenting again.
Yeah, just more nonsense, more garbage.
You can't live in a world. I grew up, couldn't get a tattoo, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't.
No.
There's a lot of things you couldn't do till you're 18.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're going to take a 10-year-old and be like, yeah, let's cut your boobs off and maybe we'll give you some chemicals.
Yeah, let's chemically castrate you, or
what world is that normal?
None. There's nothing normal about it. It seems just downright evil to me. But that's the point of the show. Look at all this stuff that's happening, and I want time to top it all off with this little gem that I got from DNI Tulsi Gabbard. So we'll bring this up when we hit.
It's up.
Okay, right? You guys ready? Here we go.
No sound yet. Maybe your mute's on. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Most insidious was providing intelligence to the Mexican law enforcement that led to the arrest of a CJNG cartel-affiliated baby trafficker called La Diabla. Her whole money-making operation was centered around luring pregnant women, performing illegal C-sections, harvesting organs, and selling newborn babies. Mr. President, it's your leadership that has made all of this possible. I can tell you in the midst of this government shutdown, our folks, like everyone around this table, are working
Susie.
24/7 without pay and eager to get after this because they believe in your leadership and the mission that you have presented to them. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll hand this off to Homeland Security Advisor.
So, yeah, there's Susie, lurking, but
She's like, damn, they stopped my guy.
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, can you imagine this woman? She's like, hey, we'll give you your illegal C-section abortion. You go kill your baby, and they take the baby out and then suck its brains out or suck whatever out they're going to do, take the organs. I mean,
and then on top of that, like you were saying, good versus evil or whatever, it's like that happens. They have this meeting, and then there's people on the left that are like, that dictator, how dare he stop that person? Like, what a dictator.
No, I gotta be honest with you, Ben. It is a frustrating day on some of the news front with some of that.
Right.
All this stems from and ties this HR or all of this stuff is tying back to Real ID, digital ID, the desire to kind of kick in the Great Reset. Control our health, control everything, create division, create discord, create just the chaos that we're getting everywhere. I'm legitimately nauseated by the situation we're seeing in this country right now. I don't want to hear this nonsense that all we do is win, win, win. We're not winning, folks. There are babies being kidnapped today. Does that sound, how is that winning?
Right.
I mean, I don't get it. So
yeah, I think you might be. There's small little wins, but the big picture of things, you're getting smoked.
Yes, we're just not quite there right now.
And I wonder if it has something to do with like the rulers of the world. Like, we're just ants, guinea pigs. It's like it doesn't matter. They want to try. Some guys like, oh, I could turn a frog into this dude, and if I give him this, they're like, yeah, we need to do that. They don't care, like, well, a million people might not die. They're like, well, I still got my creme brulee coming at night and live on my fancy island. Like, who cares?
Pretty awesome. You've got your creme brulee coming.
It's like, why would they?
Island, but that's the problem, right? I mean, Chilene's going to get out with a slap on the wrist, and that'll be the end of her. And just the whole thing is sick beyond words. Mm-hmm. Well, I think everybody, we are going to have to kind of call it a day today. We're pretty behind in work, being the last day of the week and all. Lots of stuff coming, lots of stuff going, but we have it's going to be a busy night. We got a lot of work yet to do. So anyways, please continue to support us. GiveSendGo.com/RensLaw and TomRens.com. Any support you can give us, I'm grateful for. We're going to be calling her a little bit early today, but I thank you for watching, and we will be back very soon.
Thank you for watching the Tom Renz Show. Join us live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, putting an axe in the skull of tyranny.
The MAGA revolution in cryptocurrency is here, reclaiming financial freedom for every American. Tired of globalist banks and deep state control? Blockchain is our weapon for sovereignty. Be a step ahead with Animus AI technology. Ranked #1 worldwide, exclusively available through Block Trust IRA. But beware, the wild ride volatility and scams lurk. Yet, with Trump-era policies like the Genius Act, we're tokenizing prosperity for veterans and the heartland. Globalist elites are panicking as leftist-controlled banks scrabble in the dust as MAGA investors access revolutionary technology. Reclaim your freedom with Block Trust IRA.
Join the fight to protect your wealth. Go to TomRunsCrypto.com and talk to Block Trust IRA now.
Listen live to The Tom Renz Show Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern.